So 3 stories that I think are a lot of fun to talk about from a credentialing perspective, so you can really see are 3 individuals that, to me, are extremely inspiring. So Eugenio, and I got the opportunity to meet him in Spain. And what makes it exciting about this is here is an individual, he's the very first CTA in Spain. And so I don't know, how many people went to David's session? Is David still here? Okay. So a lot of individuals probably heard a story about David trying to become a CTA. CTA is the hardest certification you can possibly get. We make it a jump to talk about the number of astronauts. Now, you think an astronaut is probably the hardest thing you could possibly do, at least in the United States. And there are more astronauts than there are CTA certified in the Salesforce world. And so this is an individual that wrapped himself around becoming the first CTA in Spain. And he doesn't even actually have a huge network. But he leveraged the power of all 3 of these things. He leveraged the power of Trailhead, along with certification, and along with the community to get there. And then we have Gerbson. I love Gerbson's story. He's the first ever certified admin in Haiti. He works for Habitat for Humanity, and his boss came to him one day and said, "Do you know what CRM is?" And he had no idea. And he said, "Well, CRM is going to change your life, so you should really know about this." So again, dove in and started learning as much as he could, and figured out, his boss said, "You know what, if you take your credentialing, I'm going to support this 100%. His boss even drugged in extra generators so he could not crash while he's taking his certification. And sure enough, now he's inspiring a whole country and now has multiple certifications in Haiti. And then I love the story about Sarah Deutsch. This is an individual that you also learned and heard from us that it's okay to fail. We all know how hard it is to get these credentials. These are tough for a reason, because they mean something. When you have these credentials on your resume, this says something to employers. And so you have to keep trying, and you have to keep trying. It doesn't always happen on the first shot. And this individual took an opportunity, she's a single mother at the time, and wanted to change her life, wanted to do the same thing. You've heard some of these traditional stories. And what she did was dredge up as much money as she could, took the certification, and failed. And unfortunately for her, she didn't have enough money to take another certification. So the community that she built around her went to them, and they're like, "You're not giving up, we're gonna make this happen for you." And they crowdsourced funding for her to take a certification exam. And sure enough, they poured all their energy and effort into her, surrounded herself with community, gave her the skills and knowledge, and then she took that certification and passed. And now what's exciting is to watch her give back. She's now a Salesforce, or has been for a while, Salesforce MVP that's giving back, knowing the support that she got from the community and the power of the credentials that have had for her. Okay, and of course the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart is the community. Now this, I know I'm not focusing too much on the basics and the traditional parts of our community, but you have heard from a couple of different presentations, this community is insane. It's absolutely the biggest, most thriving community. We have in our community alone, nearly 3 million. We have another 3 million in the developer community. We have over 700 community leaders all over the world. We represent 53 countries. And I could go on and on. It's amazing, you know this, you're part of this community. What I think is really awesome is to watch the power of bringing our community together with Trailhead and together with Salesforce University. We've created this one team, and we're now all Team Trailhead, and we're all here together to support everything you're doing, not only in the learning Trailhead world, not only in the credentialing world, but now in the community. Because again, you figured this out already, but we're just catching up to you and putting all these together to surround you. So 2 stories that pop out in my mind of really leveraging what the community has done to them and then bringing it back. And every one of these stories you can just put in your brain and you can think about what makes sense for you. I love the story of Annie Scheck, who started this opportunity. She really wanted people to make a more decisive decision about Salesforce. Instead of stumbling upon it or finding it, she wanted to help people give a path to learning and give people an opportunity that maybe wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity. So she stated this movement called Trailhead for All, where she's bringing Trailhead to underserved populations, to nonprofits, to communities, to schools. And she made a challenge just out to the community randomly and said, "Who wants to join me? Who wants to bring Trailhead to their community, to their networks, to their nonprofits?" And before even the week was over 40 people had raised their hands and were starting this movement of Trailhead for All. And one of the individuals that took it even to another level was Scott, who took this opportunity. And one thing that's extremely important to Salesforce is equality. You've heard this. This means something to everybody. It's super, super near and dear to our heart at Salesforce. So he took the opportunity to figure out what meant something to him, and he raised money and gain technology for an underserved part of the population, which is the LGBTQ population. And he was able to get laptops brought to all of this population to get them back on their feet and get them the same opportunities in actually the homeless nature of this, and really bring this to them so that they could get the same opportunities. And these are two stories that, again, there are hundreds and hundreds of these stories that are just taking the community, taking the power of learning, taking their credentialing, and really in figuring out how to close this gap that we have. And one final thing that's really exciting, and a lot of people have different movements, is this is probably the thing that gives me a shot in the arm of adrenaline that really gets me inspired, is students. So one of the things that you guys are doing incredible out here, we're catching up as well, and we're inspiring the next generation of tech leaders with our student group program. So we've done a great job of creating this amazing customer and developer community, and now, and there's many students here today, we're bringing this to the students. We think that direct to student is the next evolution. That what better way to give people the skills and differentiation right out of college that you need to get the highest paying jobs. And this is something that we are all stumbling in, but as a student, who wouldn't want an extra tool in their toolkit to get that amazing job right out of college? So that's something we're doing right away. So I'll end with this. I really think that there's a lot that you guys have heard today. This has been a long, incredible day. And I think that what we want to do is just hopefully give you an inspiration and fun and figure out a way that you can make an impact on this community and give back. And so I get super inspired when I hear our leader of Trailhead, Sarah Franklin. She always asks this question. She doesn't ask, how can I change the world? She makes the statement, how will you change the world? So I think back 10 years on in this community of building, never in a million years would I thought I'd be standing in India talking to hundreds of you guys that are just doing the most inspiring and incredible work. So I think to you, like, what is going to be your answer to this question? Not how can you, how will you change the world? So I leave you with that, and we're going to bring up some amazing women leaders. I love that we started the day with a woman, Holly Firestone, and we're ending the day with 3 amazing women, and we're going to build that community even further out here. So we'll hand it over, and then we'll bring up the panel.